What if I told you someone literally begged to join the biggest tour in the world and BTS didn't say yes immediately? What if instead they answered with rules so strict, so shocking, that even fans are divided right now? Hey Army, welcome back to JUNGKOK Lover, the channel where every secret, every rumor, and every emotional moment about BTS is uncovered before the world even realizes what's happening. Before we dive in, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe right now, because what you're about to hear might completely change how you see the BTS World Tour 2026. Who is Cortis? Why did he beg? And what are the 7 strict rules that could decide everything? Stay with me, because this story is bigger than you think. Newspaper full news article, Narasi Panjang, emotional, clickbait, global style. The global stage has always belonged to BTS, but in 2026, something feels different. There is a tension in the air, a whisper spreading across continents, a rumor that refuses to stay quiet. The BTS World Tour 2026 is not just another tour. It is being called the most anticipated musical event of the decade, a cultural reset, a moment that could redefine what global stardom truly means. And right at the center of this storm is a name that many fans didn't expect to hear. Cortis. At first, it sounded like a joke. Then it became speculation. And now, it feels like a developing reality that has divided ARMY into 2 emotional extremes. Did Cortis really beg to join BTS? And if that's true, why would BTS respond with rules instead of a simple yes or no? The story begins quietly, almost too quietly for something this explosive. Insiders hinted that Cortis, a rising figure with growing global attention, had expressed a deep desire to be part of the BTS World Tour 2026. Not just as a guest, not just as a collaborator, but as someone who wanted to step onto the same stage, breathe the same air, and share the same spotlight as the 7 members who built a global empire from passion, struggle, and undeniable talent. But this wasn't a casual request. This was described as a plea at a moment of vulnerability, at a moment that, if true, changes everything we thought we knew about how artists approach BTS. Because let's be honest, who begs to join BTS? And more importantly, what does that say about BTS's influence in 2026? As the whispers grew louder, so did the curiosity. Fans began piecing together fragments. Social media exploded with theories. Some claimed there were private meetings. Others insisted there were unseen messages, emotional appeals, and intense discussions happening behind closed doors. But then came the twist that no one saw coming. BTS didn't reject him. They didn't accept him either. Instead, they created 7 rules, 7 conditions so strict, so unexpected, that they instantly became the center of global debate. What are these rules? Why 7? Is it symbolic, or something deeper? Some fans believe the number itself is not a coincidence. 7 members, 7 pillars, 7 standards that define what it truly means to stand beside BTS on the world stage. And according to insiders, these rules are not simple requirements. They are tests. Emotional, artistic, and even personal challenges that go far beyond talent. Because joining BTS on tour is not just about singing or performing, that it's about becoming part of something sacred, something earned, something protected. The first rule, as rumored, is about authenticity. Not image, not popularity, but something raw, something real. BTS has built their legacy on honesty, on storytelling that connects deeply with millions of fans worldwide. If Cortis wants to stand beside them, he must prove that he is not just another performer chasing fame, but an artist with a story worth sharing. But how do you prove authenticity in an industry built on perception? The second rule is said to involve endurance. The BTS World Tour is not just physically demanding. It is emotionally exhausting. It pushes boundaries. It tests limits. It exposes every weakness. To survive it, you need more than skill. You need resilience. Is Cortis ready for that? Or is this where the dream begins to crack? The third rule might be the most controversial of all. Loyalty. Not just to the group, but to the values that BTS represents. Fans are questioning what this truly means. Does it imply exclusivity? Commitment beyond contracts? A level of dedication that goes deeper than anything seen before, and suddenly, the narrative shifts. This is no longer about a simple request to join a tour. This is about identity, about belonging, about whether someone from outside can truly enter the world that BTS has built over years of trust and connection with ARMY. As more details leak, the tension grows. Some fans are excited. They see this as a new chapter, a bold move that could bring fresh energy to the tour. Others are skeptical. They worry that introducing someone new could disrupt the balance, the chemistry, the emotional bond that makes BTS. BTS. And then there are those who feel something else entirely. Fear. Fear that this could change everything. Because BTS is not just a group, that it's a phenomenon, that a symbol, that a story that millions feel personally connected to. And now, that story might be opening its doors, just a little. But at what cost? The remaining rules, though still unclear, are rumored to touch on performance standards, emotional connection with fans, adaptability, and something even more mysterious, something insiders describe as a final test that only BTS themselves can judge. What is this final test? Is it a performance, a conversation, a moment behind closed doors that no camera will ever capture? And perhaps the biggest question of all, why would BTS even consider this? Why not simply keep the tour as it is, a celebration of their journey, their music, their bond? Is this a sign of evolution, or a risk that could redefine everything? As the story continues to unfold, one thing is certain. The world is watching. Every move, every hint, every silence is being analyzed, discussed, and debated across platforms, languages, and cultures. Cortis has not publicly confirmed everything. BTS has not officially revealed the rules. And yet, the impact is already real. Fans are choosing sides. Discussions are turning into debates. Debates are turning into emotional arguments about what BTS should or should not do. And in the middle of it all is a single question that refuses to go away. What does it truly mean to be worthy of standing beside BTS? Is it talent, hard work, passion, or something that cannot be measured, something that can only be felt? As anticipation for the BTS World Tour 2026 continues to rise, this story adds a new layer of mystery, a new reason for fans to stay glued to every update, every rumor, every possibility. Because if Cortis succeeds, history will be made. But if he fails, what will that say about the standards BTS has set? And what will it reveal about the invisible line between admiration and belonging? As ARMY waits for answers, one final thought lingers in the air, growing louder with each passing day. If BTS really allows someone new into their world through these 7 rules, will it make their legacy even stronger? Or will it be the moment that changes everything forever? The silence that followed the initial rumors did not calm the situation. It made everything louder. Because in the world of BTS, silence is never empty. It is filled with meaning, with signals, with possibilities that fans are trained to read between every line, every pause, every movement. And as days passed without confirmation, the story of Cortis didn't fade away. It evolved into something far more intense. Speculation turned into obsession, and obsession turned into a global conversation. Some fans began to dig deeper into who Cortis really is. Old clips resurfaced. Interviews were analyzed frame by frame. Lyrics were revisited as if they held hidden clues that could explain why someone like him would go so far as to beg for a place on the BTS World Tour 2026 stage. Was this admiration? Was it ambition? Or was it something more strategic, something carefully planned? But then came another layer of mystery that changed the tone completely. There were whispers that not all members reacted the same way. Could it be true? Could it be possible that inside BTS itself, there were different opinions about Cortis? The idea alone was enough to send shockwaves through the fandom. Because BTS has always been seen as united, as a group that moves with one heart, one vision. But this situation, this unexpected request, might have forced them to confront something new, a decision that is not just professional, but deeply personal. Because allowing someone into their world tour is not just about adding another performer. It's about trust. It's about chemistry. It's about protecting something that has taken years to build. And suddenly, the rumored 4th rule began to make sense. Compatibility. Not just musical compatibility, but emotional alignment. The ability to stand on stage with BTS and not disrupt the energy that millions of fans have come to love. The ability to blend in without disappearing. To shine without overshadowing. But how do you measure something like that? Is there even a test for it? Or is it something that can only be felt in the moment, when the lights are on, the music starts, and the world is watching? As discussions intensified, another rumor surfaced, one that added even more pressure to the situation. The fifth rule: connection with ARMY. Not just performing for them, but connecting with them, understanding them, respecting the relationship that BTS has built with their fans over years of shared memories, struggles, and victories. This is not something that can be faked. ARMY is known for seeing through anything that feels inauthentic to so the question becomes even more dangerous. Can Cortis win over ARMY? Or will ARMY be the final gate that he cannot pass? Because in the world of BTS, fans are not just spectators. They are part of the story, and any decision that affects that story will be judged not just by the members, but by millions of voices around the globe. Then came what many are calling the most intense condition yet, the sixth rule: sacrifice. Details are unclear, but insiders suggest that this rule might require Cortis to give up something significant. Something that proves his commitment is real, not temporary, not opportunistic. Some believe it could involve schedule conflicts, brand deals, or even other career opportunities. And this is where the narrative becomes almost cinematic: a rising figure, standing at a crossroads, asked to prove his worth by letting go of something valuable. Would he do it? Would anyone do it? And if he does, what does that say about how much this opportunity truly means? But even with all these rules, one remains in the shadows. The seventh rule, the one that no one has clearly defined, the one that insiders refuse to fully reveal. Some call it the final test. Others call it the decision that only BTS can make, at a moment where logic, preparation, and effort no longer matter, at a moment where everything comes down to a feeling, a yes or a no, that could change everything. And this is where the story takes an even more emotional turn, because behind all the speculation, all the rumors, all the debates, there is a human element that cannot be ignored. Imagine standing in front of the biggest group in the world, knowing that your dream is within reach, but also knowing that one decision, one moment, could take it all away. What would you say? What would you prove? And would it ever feel enough? As the BTS World Tour 2026 gets closer, the pressure continues to build. Every announcement, every teaser, every movement from BTS is now being viewed through a different lens. Fans are not just looking forward to performances anymore. They are looking for answers, signs, clues that could confirm whether Cortis is in or out. And yet, BTS remains silent. No confirmation, no denial. Just a quiet presence that somehow speaks louder than any statement ever could. Is this intentional? Is this part of the strategy? Or is this simply the weight of a decision that cannot be rushed? Because whatever happens next will not just affect one person. It will affect the narrative of BTS in 2026. A year that is already shaping up to be one of the most important chapters in their history. And as the world waits, one final question continues to echo across every platform, every discussion, every fan community. If Cortis actually passes all 7 rules, will ARMY accept him as part of the journey? Or will this be the moment that divides the fandom like never before? A shocking rumor is taking over the internet right now. Someone named Cortis allegedly begged to join BTS on their biggest global tour yet. But instead of saying yes, BTS responded with 7 strict and mysterious rules that left fans speechless. Is this real, or something much deeper? In this video from JUNGKOK Lover, we uncover the full story behind the viral controversy that has divided ARMY worldwide. From emotional speculation to hidden meanings behind each rule, this story might completely change how you see BTS and their upcoming world tour. Why would someone beg to join BTS? Why did BTS create rules instead of rejecting the request? And what is the final condition that no one fully understands? Stay until the end, because the final question might spark the biggest debate in the fandom. Backhand index pointing right. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to JUNGKOK Lover for more breaking BTS news, emotional stories, and viral K-pop updates.